We Summon the Darkness, directed by Marc Meyers, starring Alexandra Daddario, Maddie, Hasson, and Amy Forsyth. Three best friends cross paths with sadistic killers after they travel to a secluded country home to party. If you've spent any significant time on my channel, one of the things that I really push home is how much I love indie horror films. So when I saw folks in the horror community talking about We Summon the Shadows, I knew I had to go and check it out. And while I feel like it has a really good premise and a talented cast, its uneven tone unfortunately leads to the film having a bit of an identity crisis. The film takes place in 1988 and is set in the Midwest. There's a killing spree that's thought to be orchestrated by a satanic cult. Alexis and her two friends, Val and Bev, are driving to a heavy metal show, where they bond with three aspiring musicians, and they head off to the girls' country home for an after party. I really wanted to like this movie. There's a really good idea here. You're taking something like the Satanic Panic from the late 1980s and turning that into a type of slasher film. There's a lot of potential in that premise, but unfortunately, that potential is ultimately squandered. There's times where the film feels like it's being more of a horror comedy, then there's other times where it's being a drama, but then it starts to go into slasher territory, but there's also this kind of mumblecore aspect to it as well. But to have a successful mumblecore film, the dialogue needs to feel naturalistic, and the dialogue doesn't feel natural in this film at all, and none of the actors feel natural. There's times where they're all just standing around in a room or in a parking lot, and the dialogue doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't serve the purpose of moving the story forward or help us learn more about our characters. It also seemed like every one of the actors thought they were in a different type of horror film because every one of them acted a little bit differently. Alexandra Daddario and Maddie Hasson, they were acting like they were in a B-movie horror film, which I was totally game for. And when they start to act more over the top and they're having fun, I enjoy those aspects, but those scenes and those moments are so fleeting. Amy Forsyth just seems out of place, and the three guys who party with the three girls weren't very interesting to me. There's also some really weird musical choices. I get it, it's 1988, but to pick the song that they did, it didn't make sense, it didn't feel ironic, it didn't feel like they were trying to set a different kind of mood. It just felt slapped in. And if your draw is to see Johnny Knoxville in this movie, he's in this film very little. He has a little cameo on a television set, and then he has a little cameo near the end of the film. The cinematography and the lighting is serviceable. The film is also very light on horror, thriller, suspense, blood, and gore. Everything that you're looking for in a horror film, it's pretty light on. For me, I gotta give We Summon the Darkness a skip it. This had so much potential with a really cool premise, a talented cast, but ultimately I found myself really bored with this film and it made me want to watch Satanic Panic instead. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys in the next video.